Do you know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? It is time for some Dehannis Cowgirl softball! The playoff begins now! Yay!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for game number 2, starting here just a little bit early. Live from Seguin High School. Today's Region 4 regional quarterfinal playoff game between the Dehannis Cowgirls and Moulton Kittens. This is the best of 3 series. Dehannis with the currently leading with a one game lead over Moulton as they defeated Moulton 16-0 in game number 1. Once again, this is game 2, live from Seguin High School, as Dehannis is a designated visiting team and Moulton the home team for game number 2. And if necessary, game number 3 tomorrow afternoon, 12 o'clock here from Seguin as well. On the mound for the Kittens is number 20, Araceli Guzman. Behind the plate, number 4, Emily Perry. At third base, number 6, Lily Semper. At shortstop, number 7, Hope Kirkland. At second base, number 21, Kylie Byer. And at first base, number 9, Hannah Siegel. This is game number 2. The Dehannis Cowgirls versus the Moulton Kittens, live from Seguin High School. As the Cowgirls will start the ball game batting. Leading off for the Cowgirls will be the catcher, number 5, Kayla Looper. In game number 1 at Ingram, the Dehannis Cowboys defeated Menard 10-0. And the first pitch, Kayla Looper pops it up to left field, and the catch is made by number 3, Kenzie Dovrat, for the first out of the ballgame. Once again, this is game number 2 of the best of 3 series. Cowgirls with a 1-0 advantage as they defeated Moulton 16-0 in game number 1. This is game 2, starting a little bit early. And the pitch to Mabry Herman is ball 1. The pitch to Herman, called strike 1. Brings the count to 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the first. Cowgirls lead the series 1-0. This is game number 2. The pitch in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. On Mabry Herman, the shortstop. The pitch in the dirt, ball 3. As he gets by the catcher, still 3 balls and 1 strike on Mabry Herman. As Araceli Guzman is in the circle for the Moulton Kittens. Pitch, and Herman fouls it off, so the count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Herman. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch, Herman chops it over the pitcher, and she's going to make it safe at first as Mabry Herman chops it over the head of Guzman. Fielded by Kirkland at shortstop. No throw. Herman safe at first. Brings up the pitcher, number 29, Marissa Santos. So Mabry Herman with the single with 1 out here. Guzman on the mound, or in the circle for the Kittens. The pitch. Santos showed bunt, pulls back, and Herman's going to stand up safely at second. So 1 ball, no strikes on Santos. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. The pitch for a called strike. 1's across the board, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the first. Santos fouls it off, so the count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes on Marissa Santos. It's going to be ball high. Gets by the catcher. Herman's going to advance to third. Brings the count to 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Santos sends a shot to center. And the center fielder misjudges it. Herman's going to come in and score. Santos making her way towards third. So Marita Santos trades places with Baby Herman. As Santos with an RBI brings in Herman as the Cowgirls have a 1-0 advantage over the Kittens. And courtesy running, checking into the ballgame for the Cowgirls is number 13, Brighton Beard for Marissa Santos. So Reese Redden at the plate for the Cowgirls. Swing and a miss for strike one. The pitch in the dirt, good stop by the catcher. 1 ball, 1 strike on Redden. Brighton Beard standing on third. Reese Redden at the plate. The pitch, low and inside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. And 1 out. Araceli Guzman on the mound for the Kittens. The pitch. Redden hits it. Fielded by the pitcher. Overthrown. And Reese is in advance to third base on the error. So once again, the Cowgirls trading spaces at third base as Redden advances to third. Trading places. And the Cowgirls bring in another score. RBI for Reese Redden. As Beard comes in to score 2-0 to Hennis. Reese advances on the error. Brings up McFadden, who swings. Fielded by the pitcher, fired over the first for the out. Fielded by Guzman, fires it over to Siegel for the second out. And Redden standing on third for the Cowgirls. Brings up the second baseman, Frosch. Ball 1. 1 ball. 1 ball. No strikes. Jolie Frosch at the plate for the Cowgirls. Redden standing on third. The pitch. Redden fouls it off. Frosch fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. Ball in the dirt for ball 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike on Frosch. Guzman with the pitch. Frosch fouls it off once again. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the first, Cowgirls 2-0 over Moulton. Cowgirls lead the series 1-0. This is game number 2. With game 3 coming tomorrow, if necessary, at noon, live here from Seguin High School. Guzman with a pitch. Frosch fouls it once again. So the count remains with deuces across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-0. Cowgirls. The pitch. And just misses the corner inside. So the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes on the second baseman, Jolie Frosch. The pitch, and Frost sends a shot down right field line. Right down the line as Redden comes in to score. Frost making her way towards third base. And Jolie Frosch with an RBI triple as she brings in Reese Redden. Cowgirls with a 3-0 advantage. Brings up the designated player, number 16, Tony Burrow. Ball in dirt for ball 1. Gets by the catcher. And Frosch safe at the plate. 4-0 Cowgirls. As Frosch scores on the pass ball. So 1 ball, no strikes on Tony Burrow. The pitch, and Burrow swings and fouls it. So 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs on Tony Burrow. Guzman with the pitch. Burrow, oh, beautiful catch by the first baseman, Hannah Siegel, to end the top of the first. As we head to the bottom of the first, Cowgirls with the 4-0 lead. You're watching Dennis Cowgirls Softball. We'll be right back.
Do you know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? It is time for some Dennis Cowgirl Softball. The playoff begins now. Yay!
And we're back here live from Seguin High School. Cowgirls score 4 runs at the top of the first and have a 4-0 advantage over the Kittens. Cowgirls lead the series 1-0. This is game number 2 of the best-of-3 series. If necessary, game 3 will be tomorrow at noon here from Seguin High School. Leading off for the Moulton Kittens is number 4, Emily Perry, the catcher. Marissa Santos on the mound for the Cowgirls. Kayla Looper behind the plate. Natalie McFadden at third. Maybe Herman at shortstop. Jolie Frosch at second. Reese Redden at first. The pitch from Santos is a called strike. And from left to right, Addie Harkins, Peyton Burrow, and Kayla Ruiz in right. The pitch from Santos, ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. The winner of this regional quarterfinal game will face the winner of Benavides and Runge in the regional semifinals next weekend. The pitch from Santos, hit, fielded by Herman at short, fires it over to first, dropped by Redden. So Perry will be safe at first on the error. Up next to bat for the Kittens is number 6, Lily Simper. Scores around. Looper fires over to first, and the runner gets back in time. So no balls and 1 strike. No balls, 1 strike. And umpire speaking to both coaches, not sure what's going on. No balls, 1 strike. Cowgirls with a 4-0 lead. Lily Simper at the plate for the Kittens. The pitch outside. Brings the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. Perry on first. And Simper fouls the pitch out of play, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Lily Simper. Emily Perry standing on first for the Kittens. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. So 1 out here. Brings up the pitcher, number 20, Araceli Guzman. The pitch from Santos. There's a called strike. So no balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Ball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Guzman. Perry standing on first for the Kittens. Santos in the circle for the Cowgirls. The pitch. Guzman fielded by Herman. Throws it at 2. And error as it goes to the glove of Frosch. And Emily Perry will come in and score for the Kittens. Play at third. Ball's dropped. As Guzman is safe at third. And the Kittens get on the board. So the Hennis 4, Moulton 1. As Araceli Guzman makes her way towards third. So 1 out here. And number 3, Kenzie Dvorak, coming up to the plate for the Kittens.
Check your runner. Check your runner. Check 3. Check 3.
Santos with a pitch. Dvorak scores around, and it's going to go foul. So no balls and 1 strike on the batter. Guzman standing on third. Dvorak at the plate. The pitch. Dvorak scores around and fouls it off once again. So no balls and 2 strikes on the batter. 1 out. The pitch from Santos. Here's a called strike 3 as he catches the corner for the 2nd out. Up next for the Kittens is number 2, Kylie Castro. Ball inside. Looper fires it at third. And runners Guzman safe at third. 1 ball, no strikes on Castro. The pitch. Outside. 2 balls, no strikes on Kylie Castro. Once again, Araceli Guzman standing on third for the Kittens. Santos with the pitch and foul. So 2 balls, 1 strike on Castro. The pitch from Santos, swing and a miss for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. With Guzman standing on third and Castro at the plate. The pitch. Oh, ball. So count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Castro. The pitch in the dirt for ball 4. So the Kittens will have runners on the corners in first and third. Castro on first, Guzman on third. And coming up to bat is number 9, Hannah Siegel. The pitch, foul by Siegel. No balls, 1 strike on Hannah Siegel. Cali Castro on first. Araceli Guzman standing on third for the Kittens. Santos on the mound for the Cowgirls. The windup, the pitch, called strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes on Siegel. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. As we head to the top of the second, the Hennis with the 4-1 advantage over Moulton. You're watching the Hennis Cowgirls softball. We'll be right back. And we're back here live from Seguin High School, top of the second. The Hennis with the 4-1 lead over the Moulton Kittens. This is game number 2 of the best of 3 series. Cowgirls lead the series 1-0. Leading off the inning for the Cowgirls will be the left fielder, number 10, Addie Harkins. Followed by the center fielder, Peyton Burrow. Araceli Guzman on the mound, in the circle for the Kittens. Emily Perry behind the plate. The pitch, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on Addie Harkins, the left fielder. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes on Harkins. Araceli Guzman in the circle for the Kittens. The pitch. Ball high. 3 balls, no strikes on Addie Harkins. Ball 4 in the dirt. So Addie Harkins will take her base as she earns a walk. Brings up the center fielder, number 8, Peyton Burrow. Burrow showing bunt. Pulls back. Harkins takes off the second. Ball is thrown. Play at second. Bobbled by the shortstop, Hope Kirkland, as Harkins is safe at second. No balls, 1 strike on Burrow. Good throw by the catcher, Emily Perry. No balls, 1 strike on Burrow. Harkins at second. The pitch inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Burrow. The pitch in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike on the center fielder, freshman Peyton Burrow. Addie Harkins standing on second for the Cowgirls. Guzman in the circle for the Kittens. The pitch in the dirt for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike on Burrow. The pitch, and Burrow swings and fouls it out of play. Brings the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Burrow, with Addie Harkins standing on second. The windup, the pitch from Guzman. His ball gets by the catcher. Harkins advances to third. Burrow earns a walk, so runners on the corners for the Cowgirls. And we're back at the top of the lineup with Kayla Looper. Burrow on first, Harkins on third, Looper at the plate. The pitch, Looper squares around, gets by the catcher, so Harkins going to come in and score on the pass ball. And Burrow's going to advance to third. And she's going to be safe. One ball, no strikes on Kayla Looper, a freshman catcher for the Cowgirls, who had a grand slam in game number 1. Guzman with a pitch. Looper sends a shot up the middle as she brings in Burrow. And she's headed towards second and making her way towards third. And Martinez going to go ahead and send her in home. It's going to be inside the park home run for Kayla Looper. As she brings in Burrow and herself. So the Cowgirls have extended their lead 7-1 here in the top of the second. Brings up the shortstop, number 2, Mabry Herman. First pitch is foul. Update from Ingram. The Cowboys have an 8-0 lead over the Menard Yellow Jackets in game number 2, as the Cowboys won game number 1 10-0. The pitch in the dirt. Brings the count to 1 ball and 1 strike on Mabry Herman, as Kayla Looper had just come in on an inside the park home run. As I said earlier, she had a grand slam in game number 1 as well. The pitch. Herman sends a shot down the first base line as it makes its way toward right field for a single. Up next is the pitcher number 29, Marissa Santos. So Mabry Herman standing on first. No outs here. And the top of the second. Araceli Guzman in the circle. The pitch. Santos showed bunt, pulls back, and Herman makes her way towards second. So 1 ball, no strikes on Santos. 1 ball, no strikes. Herman standing on second. Marissa Santos at the plate. The pitch. Called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Ball high and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Santos. Mabry Herman standing on second. The pitch from Guzman. Outside. Count 3-1 now. 3 balls, 1 strike. 3 balls, 1 strike on Santos. The pitch, and Santos fouls it out of play. So brings the count to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. No outs here in the top of the second. Cowgirls with a 7-1 advantage over the Kittens, with Mabry Herman standing on second. The pitch. Santos sends a shot up the middle as it gets by the second baseman, and Herman will come in to score. And Santos is going to go ahead and make her way towards second. So an RBI single for Marissa Santos. And checking in as a courtesy runner for Marissa Santos is number 1, Alicia Garcia. And up next to bat for the Cowgirls is the first baseman, number 20, Reese Redden. Once again, this is game number 2 of the best of 3 series, as the Cowgirls won game 1 16-0. Reese Redden at the plate. Alicia Garcia standing on second. The pitch, and Reese sends a shot towards second baseman, goes under her legs, and it's going to be a single for Redden as Garcia comes in to score. So RBI single for Reese Redden. Brings up the third baseman, number 4, Natalie McFadden. Ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes on McFadden. Reese Redden standing on first. The pitch in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Reese Redden standing on first. Top of the second. Cowgirls with a 9-1 advantage. Guzman with a pitch. Strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike on McFadden. The pitch. McFadden with the shot to right field for a single. So runners on first and second for the Cowgirls. McFadden on first, Redden on second. And it brings up the second baseman, Joey Frosch, up to bat. The pitch. Frosch sends a shot to right field. It gets by the right fielder. Redden coming in to score. McFadden chasing her. McFadden will score. Frosch making her way towards home. And they're going to go ahead and hold her up at third. So Jolie Frosch with an RBI triple as she brings in 2 runs. She brings in Redden and McFadden. Up next to bat for the Cowgirls is the designated player number 16, Tony Burrow. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. Checking into the ballgame at first base is number 15, Kinsey Phillip. Moving from first to short is number 9, Hannah Siegel. And Araceli Guzman will remain at pitcher for the Kittens. Tony Burrow at the plate for the Cowgirls. The pitch. Burrow swings. Sends a shot up the middle for a single as she brings in Jolie Frosch. So RBI single for Tony Burrow. And we're back at the beginning of the lineup as we started the inning with Addie Harkins. The pitch to Harkins is a called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Guzman with the pitch. Ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. With Tony Burrow standing on first for the Cowgirls. The pitch. Strike 2. And the catcher fired it over to first. Bobbled by the first baseman. Backed up by the second base. So Tony Burrow still on first for the Cowgirls. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Harkins at the plate. Guzman with the pitch. Harkins fouls it off into the dugout. Count remains 1-2.
Let's go, Laddie!
1 ball, 2 strikes. Tony Burrow on first. Addie Harkins at the plate for the Cowgirls. Araceli Guzman in the circle for the Kittens. The pitch. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Catcher Emily Perry fires it over to first. Burrow's back in time. The pitch. And low and inside. Brings the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Ball 4. So Harkins will make her way towards first base. She has walked twice in this inning. Peyton Burrow up next to bat for the Cowgirls. And number 1, Abigail Tejanero checks into right field. Number 11, Kaylee Trejo moves to second base as number 21, Kylie Byer checks out of the ballgame. Once again, the center fielder, number 8, Peyton Burrow at the plate for the Cowgirls. Addie Harkins on first, Tony Burrow on second. The pitch, Burrow showed bunt and missed, so strike 1 on Burrow. The pitch, Burrow fouls it out of play. So no balls and 2 strikes on Peyton Burrow. Once again, runners on first and second for the Cowgirls. Cowgirls lead the series 1-0, the best of 3. as they won the game 16-0. The pitch, ball one. One ball, two strikes. On the center fielder, Peyton Burrow. He's on with the pitch. Burrow hits it, pops it up to the first baseman, and off the glove of Kinsey Phillip. So Peyton Burrow has another life to spare here. So one ball, two strikes on Burrow, with Tony Burrow on second, Addie Harkins on first. Araceli Guzman in the circle. The pitch and foul. Count remains one ball, two strikes. The pitch, and Burrow swing and a miss for strike three. That's the first out here in the top of the second, and we're back at the top of the lineup with Kayla Looper, who had an inside the park home run her last at bat. The pitch, ball high. One ball, no strikes on the freshman catcher, Kayla Looper. Burrow on second, Harkins on first. The pitch from Guzman. Looper fouls it off. One ball, one strike. The count with one out here in the top of the second. 12-1 advantage over the Cowgirls. Lead over the Kittens. As the sun has gone down a little bit and the breeze kicks in. The pitch, and Looper sends a shot to left field and caught by Kylie Castro. An update from Ingram as the Dehennis Cowboys advance to the next round as they defeat Menard in 2 games. In game number 2, they won 10-0 with a no-hitter. So congratulations to the Dehennis Cowboys. And the pitch to Herman is a ball. As Tony Burrow makes her way towards third, safe with the slide. The pitch to Herman. Herman sends a shot to the shortstop, gets by the shortstop and brings in Burrow, and Harkins makes her way towards second. Cowgirls now lead 13-1. Brings up the pitcher, number 29, Marissa Santos. The pitch, strike one. Nice pitch down the middle from Araceli Guzman. Addie Harkins on second, Mabry Herman on first. Marissa Santos at the plate. Cowgirls with a 13-1 lead here in the top of the second. The pitch, Santos fouls it off. So brings the count to no balls, two strikes. Once again, this is game number 2 as the Hendricks won the first game 16-0. So the Cowgirls lead the series 1-0. This is game number 2 once again. Cowgirls with a 13-1 lead here. Winner of today's game advances to the regional semifinals between the winner of Benavides and Runge. No balls, two strikes. The pitch, Santos fouls it. So no balls, two strikes, two outs. Addie Harkins standing on second. Mabry Herman on first. Once again, the pitcher, Marissa Santos, at the plate for the Cowgirls. And number 20, Araceli Guzman in the circle for the Kittens. The pitch, and swing and a miss for strike number 3. As we head to the bottom of the second, Cowgirls put 9 runs here. Dehennis with the 13-1 lead. You're watching Dehennis Cowgirls softball. We'll be right back.
Do you know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? It is time for some D'Hanis Cowgirl softball. The playoff begins now. Yay!
We're back here live from Seguin High School. Setting the defense for the Cowgirls on the mound. Marissa Santos behind the plate. Kayla Looper at third base. Natalie McFadden. Shortstop, Mabry Herman. Second base, Jolie Frosch. First base, Reese Redden. And in the outfield from left to right, Addie Harkins, Peyton Burrow, and Kayla Ruiz. Once again, congratulations to the D'Hanis Cowboys after they win their series over Menard in Game 1, 10-0, and Game number 2, 10-0, with the no-hitter. So the Cowboys will advance to the next round. We're here in Game number 2 as the Cowgirls have a 1-0 lead over the Moulton Kittens as they defeated them 16-0 in Game number 1. Pitch from Santos, hit by Phillip as the ball goes off the glove of McFadden at third base. So Kinsey Phillip on first base for the Kittens. Brings up number 7, Hope Kirkland. The pitch from Santos. Swung. Santos with the catch and the put out at first for the double play. So 2 outs here. Brings up number 10, Estefania Colchado. The pitch, strike 1. And the ball hits, the batter was Abigail De Janeiro as she gets hit by the pitch. Up next to bat for the Kittens, number 4, Emily Perry. As De Janeiro walks it off down right field line. D'Hanis with a 13-1 lead here. Cowgirls won Game 1, 16-0. Lead the series 1-0. This is game number 2. If necessary, Game 3 tomorrow at 12 o'clock here live from Seguin, Texas, Seguin High School. And back to play we go with Emily Perry at the plate for the Kittens. Santos on the mound for the Cowgirls. The windup in the pitch. Strike 1. Looper fires it over to first, and they pick off De Janeiro for the 3rd out. As we head to the top of the 3rd, Cowgirls with a 13-1 lead. You're watching D'Hanis Cowgirls softball. We'll be right back.
You're watching live coverage on the D'Hanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls! You're watching live coverage on the D'Hanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls!
Welcome back here live from Seguin High School. This is game number 2 of the regional quarterfinal playoff game between the D'Hanis Cowgirls and the Moulton Kittens. The Hennis won game number 1 16-0 and currently 13-1 here in game number 2. Winner advances to the regional semifinals between the winner of Benavides and Runge. Top of the third here, leading off for the Cowgirls will be the first baseman, Reese Redden. Araceli Guzman in the circle for the Kittens. Number 4, Emily Perry behind the plate. Number 6, Lily Simper at third base. At shortstop, number 9, Hannah Siegel. And at second base, number 11, Kaylee Trejo. At first base, number 15, Kinsey Phillip. And left field, number 2, Kylie Castro. And right field, number 5, Madeline Brock. And in center field, I can't read her number, but I believe it's Abigail Tejanero. Reese Redden at the plate for the Cowgirls. Wind up in the pitch. Ball 1. Guzman with the windup in the pitch and fouled by Reese Redden. Brings the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. With Redden at the plate, McFadden on deck. The pitch, Redden, the nice hard shot up the middle. So another single for Reese Redden. Brings up third base, number 4, Natalie McFadden. The pitch, McFadden swings and fouls it out of play. No balls, 1 strike. Reese Redden standing on first. The pitch in the dirt, and it's going to hit McFadden. So Natalie will take her base as she gets hit by the pitch. So Redden advances to second, McFadden on first. And coming up to bat is the second baseman, number 3, Jolie Frosch. Guzman with a pitch in the dirt for ball 1. The pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes on Frosch. Runners on first and second. Redden at second. McFadden on first. And Frosch at the plate for the Cowgirls. Araceli Guzman in the circle for the Kittens. The windup, the pitch, and the dirt gets by the catcher for ball number 3 as Reese advances to third and McFadden to second. Three balls, no strikes on Frosch. The pitch. Frost sends a shot to right field as Redden's going to come in. McFadden's going to come in and score. So RBI single for Jolie Frosch. Coming into the ballgame is number 15, Madison Rodriguez, to pinch hit for Tony Burrow. So Maddie Rodriguez at the plate for the Cowgirls. Frosch standing on first. The pitch, and Rodriguez nearly misses the line and fouls it down left field line. So no balls and 1 strike on Maddie Rodriguez. The pitch, ball low, 1 ball, 1 strike on Rodriguez, and Frosch advances to second. The windup in the pitch, Rodriguez swing and a miss for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Maddie Rodriguez. Jolie Frosch standing on second, no outs here. Top of the third, Cowgirls with a 15-1 lead. Guzman, the pitch, and the dirt for ball 2 as it gets by the catcher, and Frosch will advance to third. So 2 balls, 2 strikes on Rodriguez. The windup and the pitch. Ball low, brings the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Maddie Rodriguez with Jolie Frosch on third. This is game number 2. As Cowgirls won game number 1, 16-0. The pitch, Rodriguez. Fielded by Phillip at first, who tags the bag for the out as Rodriguez brings in a run as Jolie Frosch comes in to score. And Addie Harkins up to bat now for the Cowgirls. The pitch, ball high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch to Harkins. Ball low. 2 balls, no strikes on Addie Harkins. Nobody on. 1 out. Guzman with the pitch. Harkins swings, fielded by Phillip at first. There's a race to the bag, and Phillip's going to get the out for the Kittens. So 2 outs here. Peyton Burrow coming up, the center fielder for the Cowgirls. The pitch, ball low. 1 ball, no strikes on Peyton Burrow. The pitch from Guzman. Burrow hits it, fielded by, under the glove of Guzman, fielded by Siegel at shortstop, no throw at first. So Burrow will be safe on first, and we're back at the top of the lineup, which brings up Kayla Looper. So 2 outs here. Top of the third, Kayla Looper at the plate. Peyton Burrow standing on first for the Cowgirls. The windup in the pitch. Looper sends a shot to the shortstop. It goes off her glove, and it makes his way towards the fence. Burrow's going to come in. And Kayla Looper will get held up standing at third. So an RBI for Kayla Looper. And courtesy running for Kayla Looper will be number 22, Tori Johnson. And up to bat for the Cowgirls is number 2, the shortstop, Mabry Herman. Guzman with the pitch. Ball low. 1 ball, no strikes on Mabry Herman. Tori Johnson on third for the Cowgirls. 2 outs here. The pitch. Herman sends a shot in the gap as Johnson comes in to score. Herman making her way towards second for an RBI double for Mabry Herman. Up next to bat is the pitcher, number 29, Marissa Santos. And Herman steps off the bag for the 3rd out as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Cowgirls with an 18-1 lead. You're watching Dana's Cowgirls Softball. We'll be right back. And we're back here live from Seguin High School. Cowgirls with an 18-1 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. As the Cowgirls lead the series 1-0 as they defeated Moulton 16-0 in game number 1. This is game number 2 in the best of 3 series. Winner advances to the regional semifinals to face the winner of Runge and Benavides. Congratulations to the Dehennis Cowboys, who have swept the Menard Yellow Jackets, winning game 1 10-0 and winning game number 2 10-0 as well with a no-hitter. But we're here live from Seguin, Texas, Seguin High School. Game number 2, Cowgirls 18-1 lead over the Moulton Kittens as we have some changes out in the outfield for the Cowgirls. Santos with the first pitch fouled off for strike 1. Now in center field is number 13, Brighton Beard. For Dehennis. Second pitch from Santos, swing and a miss for strike number 2. So no balls and 2 strikes on Emily Perry. And Perry sends a shot past third base into left field as Harkins fires it in. So a single for Perry. Up next is number 6, Lily Semper.
Hey, Rich, your bag. Watch a bunt. Watching a bunt, please sustain.
Lily Semper at the plate for the Kittens. Emily Perry out first. Called strike 1 as it catches the corner. Santos with a pitch. Hit, fielded by Frosch, bobbled, and all runners will be safe as Perry is on second. And Semper now on first for the Kittens. Runners on first and second. Santos in the circle. Brings up the pitcher, number 20, Araceli Guzman for Moulton. The pitch. Hit, and Redden makes the catch at first. The ball's thrown to second, gets by Herman, and it goes into the outfield. And Perry will advance to third on the error. And Simper to second. Both runners advance on the error as Reese made the catch in foul territory for the first out. Brings up number 3, Kenzie Dvorak. The pitch, and Dvorak gets hit by the pitch, so the bases are now loaded for the Kittens. Brings up number 2, Kylie Castro. With the bases loaded, 1 out.
Get the out right now. We don't necessarily have to go for. Get the out.
The pitch, ball outside. Looper fires it over to third. Runner is safe. 1 ball, no strikes. Santos with the pitch. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kylie Castro with the bases loaded. 1 out here. Santos with the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike number 2. Ball's bobbled. Play at the plate. Gets by the catcher. On the bat throw from McFadden. So Moulton scores a run on the error. Runners advance to second and third. And we're going to have a little conference here. As Coach Martinez will talk to his players. Settle them down a bit. As Lily Simper stands on third. And Kinsey Dvorak standing on second. And at the plate remains Kylie Castro with the count of 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out here. Santos in the circle. The windup, the pitch. Oh, just misses. So it's going to be 2 balls, 2 strikes on Castro. With 1 out here in the bottom of the third. The pitch. Foul down first baseline. Once again, Simper on third. Dvorak on second. Kylie Castro at the plate for the Kittens. Santos in the circle. Looper behind the plate. The pitch. Hit. Fielded by Looper. Fires it over to first. And off the glove of Redden. And the Kittens score 2 runs. As Simper and Dvorak come in to score on the error. And Kylie Castro standing on first for Moulton. The pitch is a called strike. Number 9, Hannah Siegel. The windup, the pitch. Swung on, hit, fielded by Frosch, bobbled. And Herman picks it up. No play. So runners now on first and second for the Kittens. As Castro standing on second. Siegel on first. With 1 out here. And up at the plate is number 15, Kinsey Phillip for Moulton. And the first pitch is fouled off. So no balls and 1 strike on Phillip. Kittens making a little noise here. The pitch from Santos, swing and a miss for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes on Phillip. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Kittens have scored 3 runs here. The pitch and fouled, out of play. pitch from Santos slows it down a bit with a changeup for strike 3. So 2 outs now. And that is the 4th strikeout of the ballgame for Marissa Santos here in game number 2. And the hit by Kirkland is popped up and caught by Frosch for the 3rd out. As we head to the top of the 4th, the Hennis with an 18-4 advantage. You're watching Dennis Cowgirls Softball. We'll be right back.
You're watching live coverage on the D'Hanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls! You're watching live coverage on the D'Hanis Athletics page, home of the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the most up-to-date and late-breaking information. And go Cowboys and Cowgirls!
And we're live here from Seguin High School, top of the 4th. Cowgirls with an 18-4 lead. Cowgirls with the lead the series 1-0 in this best of 3. This is game number 2. As the Cowgirls have an 18-4 advantage. And game 3 tomorrow at noon if necessary. Winner advances to the regional semifinals to face the winner of Runge and Benavides. Leading off the inning is the pitcher, number 29, Marissa Santos. And in the circle for the Kittens remains number 20, Araceli Guzman. The pitch, and Santos sends a shot, gets by the shortstop, Siegel. So Santos will be on first base. And brings up the first baseman, number 20, Reese Redden. So Marissa Santos on first. Reese Redden at the plate. Top of the 4th, Cowgirls with the 18-4 advantage over the Moulton Kittens. The pitch. Hit up the middle. And nope, there's a play at second. And they're going to call Santos out at second on the force out. As it looked like as the second baseman bobbled it and somehow tossed it over to shortstop Siegel. So Redden is on first. McFadden at the plate for the Cowgirls. The windup and gets by the catcher for ball 1, and Reese will advance to second base. 1 ball, no strikes on Natalie McFadden. The windup in the pitch, ball low. 2 balls, no strikes on McFadden. The pitch, called strike 1 down the middle. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Reese steals third base with a beautiful headfirst dive. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. McFadden at the plate. Guzman in the circle. The pitch. McFadden fouls it off, so 2 balls, 2 strikes now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch. McFadden fouls it. And it comes back into play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Natalie McFadden at the plate. Reese Redden standing on third for the Cowgirls. Guzman in the circle for the Kittens. The wind up, the pitch. McFadden fielded by Guzman, fires it over the first, bobbled, dropped, and they're going to call her out as she regained it for the second out. McFadden will be out. Brings in a run. Brings in Redden. So batting now for Frosh is number 1, Alicia Garcia. And the first pitch is called strike. The windup in the pitch. Garcia swings. Fielded by Guzman. Fires it over to first, and he's going to get her in time. Cowgirls score 1 run. Extend their lead to 19-4. You're watching D'Hanis Cowgirls softball. We'll be right back.
Do you know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? It is time for some D'Hanis Cowgirl softball. The playoff begins now. Yay!
And we're back here live from Seguin High School. Entering the ball game for the Cowgirls. Now in left field for Addie Harkins is number 22, Tori Johnson. Center field, Brighton Beard. Cowgirls with the 19-4 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. And this best of 3 series, Cowgirls lead 1-0. And this is game number 2. Also at second base, checking in is number 1, Alicia Garcia. Leading off for the Kittens is number 5, Madeline Brock. Santos with the pitch, strike 1. One ball, 1 strike as the ball is low and inside. Madeline Brock at the plate for the Kittens. Santos with the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Santos outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Brock. Swing and a miss for strike 3 and the first out here to the bottom of the 4th. And that is the 5th strikeout for Marissa Santos in game number 2. Brings up number 4, the catcher, Emily Perry. The pitch, Perry fouls it into the dugout. So no balls and 1 strike on Perry. Santos with a windup in the pitch. And fielded by Herman, bobbled. And Perry will get on safely at first as maybe Herman fielded it, bobbled it. So Perry reaches on the error. Brings up number 6, Lily Simper, for the Kittens. Santos with the pitch. Popped up. Garcia there. Great catch by Kaylee Louise, who comes in from right field as she calls off Garcia for the second out. As Perry remains on first for the Kittens. And number 20, the pitcher, Araceli Guzman, coming up to the plate for Moulton. With Marissa Santos in the circle, Kayla Looper behind the plate. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Marissa with the windup and the pitch. Strike. Looper fires it over to second. Nobody there. Great backup by Beard as she fires it in. And Perry advances to third on the miscommunication. So no balls and 1 strike on Guzman. Santos with the pitch. Guzman hits it under the legs of McFadden as Perry comes in to score. So Guzman reaches on first base. Courtesy runner coming in for Araceli Guzman. It'll be number 10, Estefania Colchado. So 2 outs here, bottom of the 4th. Number 3, Kenzie Dvorak at the plate. The pitch. And they're going to say she did not go. So 1 ball, no strikes on Dvorak with 2 outs here. The pitch and foul. Brings the count to 1 ball, 1 strike with Colchalo on first base for the Kittens. Santos with the windup, the pitch into the dirt for ball 2. And the ball is overthrown into center field. Beard fires it in to Santos. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs here. Colchalo advances to third on the error. So once again, 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs on Dvorak. The pitch outside. 3 balls and 1 strike on Kinsey Dvorak. The pitch called strike, so it brings the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on the batter. Colchado standing on third for the Kittens. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Santos in the circle. Duper behind the plate. The pitch inside for ball 4. And the throw to third. Colchado gets back in time. So runners on first and third for the Kittens. Brings up number 2, Kylie Castro. Santos with a pitch for a called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Runners on the corners for the Kittens. Colchalo on third. Dvorak on first. Castro at the plate. Castro pops it up. And great dive and effort by Reese Redden, who just fell off her glove. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Santos, the windup, the pitch, swing and a miss. They're going to say she tipped it, so foul. No balls, 2 strikes on Castro. Runners will return back to their positions, first and third.
Be ready.
The windup, the pitch, swung and fouled, out of play. No balls. 2 strikes on Kylie Castro. With 2 outs here. Bottom of the 4th, Cowgirls with a 19-5 lead. Runners on the corners for the Kittens. Santos with the pitch. With the changeup, strikes her out. So that is 6 strikeouts in the ballgame for Marissa Santos. As we head to the top of the 5th, Cowgirls with a 19-5 lead. This is a best of 3 series. Cowgirls with a 1-0 lead as they won game number 1, 16-0. And current lead here in game number 2, 19-5. If necessary, game 3 will be tomorrow at noon here at Seguin High School. Winner of today's game advances to the regional semifinals versus the winner of Runge and Benavides. Once again, congratulations to the D'Hanis Cowboys advancing to the next round as they swept Menard today by the scores of 10-0 in game number 1 and 10-0 in game number 2. As I hear with the no-hitter. So once again, congratulations to the D'Hanis Cowboys. We'd also like to wish our 2 track participants good luck, Ethan Reyes and Jonah Perez, as they will compete at the state track meet Saturday at UT Austin. You can watch that live on the NFHS network. So once again, good luck to our 2 track participants at the state track meet, which will be tomorrow. So leading off the inning for the Cowgirls will be number 15, Maddie Rodriguez. As we begin the top of the 5th here. The pitch in the dirt for ball 1 as it gets by the catcher, with Araceli Guzman in the circle for the Kittens. Emily Perry behind the plate. Guzman with a pitch in the dirt for ball number 2. 2 balls, no strikes on Rodriguez. To wind up the pitch, 3-0 on Maddie Rod. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike on Madison Rodriguez. Guzman with the pitch, swing and a miss for strike number 2. So that brings the count to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, ball low. So Rodriguez will advance to first. And now batting for the Cowgirls will be number 22, Tori Johnson. Tori Johnson at the plate for the Cowgirls. Maddie Rod standing on first. Guzman in the circle for the Kittens. The windup and the pitch. Ball low. 1 ball, no strikes on Tori Johnson. Ball outside. 2 balls, no strikes on Johnson. Maddie Rodriguez standing on first. Guzman in the circle for the Kittens. Ball outside. 3 balls, no strikes on Tori Johnson. The windup and the pitch. And it's going to be ball 4 as Johnson will take her base. So Maddie Rod advances to second. Tori Johnson on first. And now batting the center fielder, Brighton Beard. Runners on first and second. Beard at the plate. Guzman with the pitch. Catches the corner inside for strike 1. The windup in the pitch. Ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Beard. Rodriguez on second. Johnson on first. Brighton Beard at the plate for the Cowgirls. With Araceli Guzman in the circle for the Kittens. The windup and the pitch. Ball high. 2 balls and 1 strike on Beard. The pitch and swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on first and second. No outs here in the top of the 5th. Guzman with a pitch. Ball high. Brings the count full on Brighton Beard. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So 1 out here. And we're back at the top of the lineup with Kayla Looper. With runners on first and second. Rodriguez on second. Johnson on first. And Looper at the plate. The pitch. Ball high and outside. The pitch. Looper sends a shot. Fielded by the third baseman who makes the tag on Rodriguez at third. Fielded by Simper. She applies the tag on Rodriguez for the second out. And Looper gets on base on the fielder's choice. Brings up the shortstop, number 2, Mabry Herman. And we're having a little discussion on the mound. So 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Cowgirls with a 19-5 lead. They lead the best of 3 series 1-0. This is game number 2. And if necessary, game 3 will be tomorrow at noon. Looks like there will be some position changes. Looks like number 15, Kinsey Phillip, will come into pitch. Number 20, Araceli Guzman, will move the shortstop. And number 9, moving from shortstop to first, is Hannah Siegel. Once again, we'd like to congratulate the Hennis Cowboys advancing to the next round as they swept the Menard Yellow Jackets 2-0. As they defeated them in game number 1, 10-0, and game number 2, 10-0. And like I said, I heard it was a no-hitter. And we'd like to also wish our 2-track participants good luck tomorrow as they head to the state track meet at UT Austin. I'd like to wish Ethan Reyes and Jonah Perez good luck tomorrow. You can watch them live on the NFHS network. Once again, this is game number 2. As the Cowgirls won game number 1, 16-0 over Moulton and currently lead 19-5 here. The winner advances to the regional semifinals to face the winner of Benavides and Runge. And we're back to play with Kinsey Phillip on the mound now for the Moulton Kittens. Mabry Herman at the plate for the Cowgirls. And wind up in the pitch. Herman swings and fouls it off. With runners on first and second. Tori Johnson standing on second. Kayla Looper on first. No balls, 1 strike on Herman. Phillip with the windup in the pitch. Called strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes on Herman. And Herman sends a shot to center as Johnson's going to come in and score. So an RBI for Mabry Herman. As Looper stands on third with runners on the corners. Herman on first, Looper on third, and Marissa Santos at the plate. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Ball gets by the catcher, and Looper's going to come in and score on the pass ball, and Herman's going to advance to third. So no balls and 1 strike on Marissa Santos. And Herman's going to step off the bag for the 3rd out. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, your D'Hanis Cowgirls lead 21-5. You're watching D'Hanis Cowgirls softball. We'll be right back. And we're back here live from Seguin High School. Getting ready to start the bottom of the 5th. Cowgirls with a 21-5 lead over the Moulton Kittens. Setting the defense for the Cowgirls. Santos on the circle. Looper behind the plate. McFadden at third. Herman at shortstop. Alicia Garcia at second. Reese Redden on first. Tori Johnson in left field. Brighton Beard in center field. And in right field, Kayla Ruiz. Up for the Kittens is number 9, Hannah Siegel. Santos with the pitch. Way outside for ball 1. Swing and a miss for strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Siegel. Ball high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Siegel hits, fielded by Reese at first, and she tags it back for the 1st out. Brings up the pitcher, number 15, Kinsey Phillip. Santos with a pitch and fouled out of play. No balls and 1 strike. No balls, 1 strike on Phillip. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Santos with the pitch. Fielded by Garcia, fires it over to first to Redden for this out number 2. Out number, excuse me. Up next at bat is number 7, Hope Kirkland. Santos with a pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. Santos with the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike number 2. So no balls and 2 strikes on Hope Kirkland. One ball, 2 strikes on Kirkland. Santos with the pitch and the changeup and the strikeout. And that is going to be the ball game as your D'Hanis Cowgirls win 21-5. And the best of 3 series as they win 2-0 as they defeat Moulton in game number 1, 16-0. Game number 2, 21-5. So the Cowgirls will advance to the regional semifinals to face the winner of Benavides and Runge. So once again, congratulations to the D'Hanis Cowboys and to the D'Hanis Cowgirls, and good luck to our 2 track participants, Ethan Reyes and Jonah Pettis, tomorrow morning at the state track meet. Once again, you can watch that live on the NFHS network. So till next time, good night.